And that's the trap. All the jobs are in the big cities. All the big cities have expensive cost of living. How do you escape the trap? I agree, rural is better. If you can work remote, it's good. But again, there's so many things you have to calculate for remote work. All right, let's do something positive because we were talking about cost of living earlier. Let me see. And by the way, for those guys asking, so my man here, look at the cost of living, this channel again. And it's a comprehensive breakdown, dude. We're going to learn how much this man is spending. Again, it's just the Philippines, but if you guys can find me content of what cost of living is all over the world, guys that have become expats, let me know because I want to cover that. Give men an idea. But his channel is called It's Me. It's Me if you want to follow him. He's detailing his journey. That's his wife. That's him.
Hey everyone, it's me again. If you're new to the channel, my name is Corey. My wife's name is Raquel.
By the way, that's their house that he built there. What you're seeing, this is their house. He has a whole video where he details out the cost. He breaks it down from sheet metal, window installation, anything. We can watch that too if you guys want it. That one's a little bit more boring, but this is just going to go the overall cost of living so you can see what it costs to live.
She is a little camera shy, just to give you a heads up now. Some people have said she should talk more, and I'm like, yeah, I try when she can stop giggling. So we do a lot of retakes and a lot of bloopers, which I could make a whole video on. Anyways, so we are going to talk about a foreigner's monthly cost living in the Philippines. And when I say that, for those of you that don't know us, we've been married for quite some time. I met her in the Philippines. She lived with me in Chicago in the US for about 2 years, a little bit less. We had a 5-year plan to move over to the Philippines, and we prepared, we planned, and we built a house over here, and we've been here now for 10 months. So I think we have a pretty good average because your bills fluctuate, and I didn't want to give you guys a cost of living after 30, 60, or 90 days because that's going to give you horrible information. You need more data to put together than that. Okay, so that being said, I just want to say that I've watched every YouTube video on foreigners' cost of living over here, and they fluctuate quite a bit. So feel free to comment saying you spend less on something or that you spend more on something, because I'm not going to disagree with anyone. It's just you have to factor in 3 things when you're moving to another country or anywhere for that matter. And first thing is going to be location. We all know that. No one's going to argue that. Second thing is going to be your lifestyle. It's going to make a huge impact on how much you're spending. And then third thing is how much planning you put into it. And I don't ever see YouTubers talk about that for some reason, but when you plan and you build things and you prepare in advance, you're able to keep your cost down much lower, as an example. All right, so like I said, this is going to factor in 3 different things that will make a big impact on what someone is spending. So that being said, I'm going to go over the average cost, and I've gathered that together from every YouTube video on people living in the Philippines. I've put them all into different spreadsheets. I have pie charts and graph charts looking at it so I can see the averages, the highs and the lows, and compare it to what we're spending. So we'll keep that part brief because, you know, that's not what we're spending, so I don't necessarily really care. All right, so
first one is the housing.
So that is averaging for foreigners in between 300 and 800. And I know someone's going to jump in and say they spend 100. You can't. We know people that spend $20 and they have a bed and they have a shared CR with other people. So you can do it for much less than that, but most foreigners...
What, dude? If you really wanted to bum it, $20, share a room with your own bed. Okay.
Are going to say they want to be in the $300 to $800 range. I definitely know people that are in the $1,000 to $1,500 range if they're in, IT Park or Makati, and they have a nice condo with a pool and things like that. So that's the average for that. The average electric cost for foreigners is in between $100 and $200. Now, again, I know people that are spending $50 or $60 a month. I also know people that are spending $300 to $350 a month. So it varies a lot based upon how big your house is and how much you prepared in advance. Internet, that's averaging $40.
44. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's averaging That's a gecko. Okay. It's averaging $40. I know people that spend $10 or $20, but you could obviously spend more than that, for example.
Telephone?
The average I'm noticing is around $15. Definitely plenty of people online that said they spend in between 8 and 12. Some people will spend, 40 or 50 because they're on it all the time, or they're texting or using the internet on it.
Yeah, we use the no expiry. So it's by gig, so it depends how.
With our load, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're rarely using our internet when we leave.
Yeah, we only use that when we leave. So it's been, I don't know, 2 months now, and then I still have gig in my data. So
Yeah, it's been months since we've loaded our phones, and we put $8 on each.
yeah.
Yeah, guys, just to put it in perspective, here in the United States, median rent has gone up to $2,000 for the first time ever. 2,000 median.
Yeah.
So
Food, home, food.
food/home. So she actually read it correctly, but anyways, food, home. We're talking about your general grocery bill. The average foreigner is spending in between $200 and $400 a month. Plenty of guys said that, or the average is, or can be, I should say, in the $80 range, and
What,
plenty.
dude? Do you hear that? $200 a month, average 80. You can get by on 80. Wow. How much are you guys dropping on one cart full of food today? Eggs are damn near $10. I'm curious, dude, because my cart now has ballooned. I can't spend less than $200 on one trip just to get all the meat I need. Spent $240 at Costco yesterday. I know exactly the pain, dude. That's a few packs of meat, basically. Like $100 minimum. Yeah, dude, it's insane. They're living on 80 to 150, 200 a month.
Of people for larger households where they're buying everything at a chain grocery
Eggs are as expensive as Pagani's today. Amen.
A Pagani BC.
store, and they have kids. They're spending $500 to $600 a month.
Yeah.
So
It depends. Me, I only eat one slice, food and rice, of course. I'm okay with that. But him, he wants more meat, of course.
I have two breakfasts, for example, and she'll have one egg and a small piece of rice, or one toast and an egg. So it's
Coffee.
food costs can vary a lot, and I think we all know that. So next
Can
one,
see with Filipina, very small.
yeah, they're like a half a person or a third.
See, someone in the comments said 30 pieces of eggs here in PH is 4 to 5 USD.
That's why you can save. Okay, we'll go to food dash out.
Food dash out.
What's that? You dash.
No, you're right. It is food dash out because I'm referring to takeout food and eating out at restaurants.
Okay.
Those numbers are averaging around $400 a month, but that is a huge variation. And when I say that, I have a friend who doesn't spend $20 a month because he never goes out to restaurants. I know other people that spend $600, $700, $800 a month because they eat out at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they live in the city. So that's going to vary a lot, but 400 is the...
That's another thing. So I was watching travel vlogs of people living all someplace like Bali or wherever else they feel like living for 6 months in some Airbnb. You can. It's so cheap that some people don't even go grocery shopping. They rather eat out 3 times a day because it's actually cheaper than to go to a grocery store, buy a bunch of stuff and make it yourself. That's how cheap some of the food is. They'll go get an entire plate of like rice, meat, sides, drinks, everything. It's like $5, $3.50. Daniel, thanks for the 10. My mortgage is $20K a month and car payments over $10K a month. I'd be living like a king over there. Jesus Christ, yes, you would. Daniel. A $20K mortgage, bro? You'd fucking be on top of a mountain in a mansion in like an impenetrable fortress.
The average for what foreigners are spending.
Yeah, you eat a lot, so.
You want to add a dash to everything or no?
No, there's more. Transportation. So, car, gas, yeah.
Yeah, tricycle. So transportation, again, it's going to vary all over. $40 to $70 is the average range. Again, that's put together through all the YouTube videos and all the forums and all the people I've talked to, is $40 to $70. Now, I've talked to people that spend 0 or people that spend $10 because they walk or they take a tricycle once a week.
Going
And
to church.
what's that?
Going to church.
Right. I mean, a lot of local Filipinos will get a tricycle once a week because they're just going to church and they walk everywhere else. I know foreigners over here that spend $500, $600, $700 a month on transportation because they have a car payment, which I'm not going to get into whether I agree with that or not, but either way, that's going to make a huge item.
Let's skip to
whether
the paper
it's
so we can
a
see.
present or a gift, if you know what I mean. Okay, just to give you guys the average, again, bear with me here, the average foreigner is spending in between.
Here we go. Here's the low end, guys. Housing. Here you go. Right for you to see. Let's go through this. Low end is 80 to 100 bucks on housing. That sounds absolutely insane when you say that out loud, living here in the West. Average 300 to 800. So respectfully, 800 will probably get you something very nice. 300 will probably get you something bare minimum that you would like to move into for yourself. No roommates. High end, we're talking luxury. You probably have a pool. You probably have some crazy amenities that you wouldn't have in the average range. And that's high end, guys, 1,200 to 1,500. I'm paying more than that right now in rent. All my friends are paying more than that on their mortgage, personally. And it ain't high end. Okay, electric. Electric is expensive, period. So his goes on the high end 350. So you got to think here, square footage, what high end looks like. That's probably a big ass place. You probably have a pool or a jacuzzi. You're powering multiple things. The house probably needs to be cooled all day there. So average 1 to 200. Here in Arizona, what are you guys spending on your electricity? On a hot summer day, if you leave your AC on to be even remotely cool in the house, mine shot up to 500. Mine shot up to 500 for like 2 months when it's 110 degrees out here in Phoenix. 1,700 in Metro Atlanta is 1 bedroom. And that's not super fancy. Yep, I know, dude. I used to live in Buckhead. I was paying $2,200 in Buckhead, and that was for a 2-bed, and that was a deal. And I know it's gotten a hell of a lot more expensive. You're going to be paying $15, $16 today and get a studio. Australia is $1,000 for 3 months. Sheesh.
$1,200 and $1,800. Now, again, that's just an average from the majority of the people.
I rent a 3-bedroom house in Augusta, Georgia for $1,100 a month. Not bad. Yeah, but you're all the way in Augusta. A vast majority of the, quote, jobs people are after, brother, is not in Augusta, unfortunately. You have to be in Atlanta. And that's the trap. All the jobs are in the big cities. All the big cities have expensive cost of living. How do you escape the trap? I agree, rural is better. If you can work remote, it's good. But again, there's so many things you have to calculate for remote work. Does it make sense at this point to uproot and go to another country? Bro, Augusta is so depressing. I bet.
There's YouTube channels out there and people living off of $500. Now, everyone jumps in and argues with them saying that's impossible. I mean, every Filipino here does it. So
sorry, we got to go through the rest of the list. So internet, 10 to 60 bucks. Hey, we're all probably paying 100 something if you're trying to get the fastest internet. Great. Cell phone, $40. Again, all our cell phone plans, probably 75, 80 bucks minimum. Grocery and food. We just said on the channel, people are spending 200. 200. Every trip. How many trips? Say 4? 2, 4, 6, $800 on groceries. And I don't know how much you guys are eating, but if you're bulking and you buying a ton of meat, yeah, 200 comes by and goes real quick. 300 for this guy here. There you go, man. Groceries have gotten expensive. If you have a family, you're regularly dropping probably 400, 500 every trip, dude. If you got multiple kids, 600. Wichita, Kansas for a 2-bedroom, 750 is what you're paying. Again, Wichita, Kansas. You see what I mean? Do you want to be in Wichita, Kansas, or do you want to be on the beach in the Philippines or Colombia somewhere or wherever else, Malaysia somewhere? Just name anywhere else. And then even though you're in Wichita, Kansas, brother, your cost of living, like how much you paying for gas? What does gas average up to? Okay, what's your electricity average to? What are you paying for cable? What are you paying to eat out at a restaurant? Can you even afford to eat out at restaurants? Because you're paying like 20, 30, 40 bucks as opposed to what would it cost everywhere else to do the day-to-day stuff. Look. So I pay $800 a month for electric without solar because I have 3 ACs and a pool. But with solar, he pays $400 during summer season. Do you see how insane that sounds? You had to install solar on your roof. It's still $400 in the summer. And that's supposed to be a come up. My God, dude. All right. Groceries, eating out, takeout could be as much as $600. That's fine. Transport as low as 20 bucks if you basically don't eat out at all. Average $400. I'm assuming these are all the high-end spots. Transportation, upwards of $600. Entertainment, that varies. Water, there you go, $7 to $12. Visa, $5 to $20. What is it? Meds, dental insurance, $50. Miscellaneous, $250. That's just to shield yourself in case of whatever, you need an extra $250 rainy day. So his average monthly cost, $500.
Channels out there and people
For the
living
low end.
off of $500. Now everyone jumps in and argues with them saying that's impossible. I mean, from the majority of the people,
500.
there's YouTube channels out there and people living off of $500. Now,
So you can do 12 to 1800 and you're living well. A bunch of you are making more than $2,000 a month. And for 2,500 to 3,000, which most likely, if you're doing remote work, you have some sort of skill that pays. You're probably doing better than 3,000 a month.
now everyone jumps in and argues with them saying that's impossible. I mean, every Filipino here does it, so it's definitely possible. But most foreigners wouldn't be comfortable like that. I do know one guy in particular, you'll remember him, he's spending $380 a month. Now, the guy we know from the car wash.
Oh, the Mageti?
Yeah. He spends,
Gun Fox, I make $5,600 per month. There you go.
so he pays
That's $5,600. You would live good here and have excess to save and invest.
the other bills, and they're happy and content. Do I think he would be happier if he had a lot more money? I'm sure that he would, because he obviously can't travel or afford to go get coffee with $380 a month. But he's surviving off of it. I'm not saying he's comfortable, but he is surviving off of that. And there's a lot of guys that are saying that they need in between $2,000 and $2,500, and people in the $2,500 to $3,000 range saying that that's what they need to be comfortable. But again, that's going to come down to your location, your lifestyle, and how much you planned in advance. If we lived in IT Park, we could spend $3,000 a month. That's not what would make us happy. We wouldn't want to live there, but you can spend $3,000 a month living there, and you can also survive. I'm not saying you're comfortable, but you can survive off of $500 a month. Again, not suggesting that you do one extreme or the other. The average is $1,200 to $1,800 a month. And now we're going to go over our bills, and I'll make sure that all these numbers are up on the screen.
What do you think he's
compare
paying? What do you think he's paying, guys?
it to the average bills. First bill is housing. We built ahead of time, and therefore our mortgage is zero, so we don't have a rent and we don't have a mortgage.
The second one, electric bill, 800. Oh, 80.
Yes. Second bill is
Let's go to his cost. So there's his cost on the end. So he built his house. I think he spent $80,000 on this house. Let's see. Yeah, so cash amount $80,000. So that house you saw behind him, he spent $80,000. This is what he used to date, and this is what he had left over. Yeah. So okay, total allotted funds, and he goes through. He breaks down everything. Look, his house is getting built right there. Look at that, dude. Dude, look at that. Look at that. $80,000. $80,000.
so the glass is paid for, the glass is installed, the house is painted. Doing the screen. These are some of the prices for the most common ones that we have in the house. So
Look at the interior.
$528, $321. You have the hanging double. Getting into the house more in the last stages. So
80 G's. That's what 80 G's get you. He's not surviving. He's living luxury. That's a big ass space. Yeah, marble floors, right? Ain't that nuts? So where's his cost at? Here we go. So obviously he drops 80 G's initially on the house. Yeah, he's thriving, bro. 80 G's on the house. They spent for that big ass house. Did you see that? $80 is what they spend on electric. His internet's $40. $5 for his cell phone. The groceries are $125 because my man likes to eat a ton of meat. Eating out because they still go out, another $125. Transportation, $80. I'm assuming he has a vehicle there. Entertainment, $20. Don't know what that entails. Water's $8. Zero for Visa, whatever. Meds, dental insurance, etc. $30. Miscellaneous, $50. That's his cushion, whatever. Doesn't need it. And then the welder / mason. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to assume that has something to do with the construction of his place. $152. Not sure. So he just said it right there. $715. He's living on $700. And we're not saying living. Sorry. Let's change the word to he's thriving in a multi-story home with land, with plants, everything gardened up nice. Landscapers did their job. The house looks beautiful. And he's doing that for, hey, look, dude, he just banked up 80. I'm sure he got a loan, or maybe he just had the cash. Regardless, 715. Now say you wanted to rent a place out like that. Let's just do high end. Let's consider that high end. So add another 12 to 15, right? Add 15 to 7. There you go. What is that? What is it? Most people are already paying near that median at 22, 2300. You're there. You're there, except you're living in a huge ass house in a very safe place at the beach where it's sunshine. You can go for a swim.
That's what we're spending total for the last 10 months to be here. But like I said, a lot of that is, paying him to build the things that we now own and we get to keep. Yeah, for another example, which I didn't put in here, we have mango trees on the property, and people come once every couple of weeks. They take all the mangoes and then they actually pay us. So yeah, they pay her. But anyways, between the garden, we also have 2 fish ponds that we've built that we're waiting for the fish delivery, and a lot of chickens. So we're going to have 30 to 40 chickens.
So there goes his expensive eggs. 30 to 40 chickens, donezo. Man never needs eggs again. He has mango trees and he sells his own mangoes off his land. Great. 2 fish ponds. 2 fish ponds. And he's waiting for fish to get delivered. Wow. Does that sound like survival to you? Sounds a bit like living like a king, eh? A little bit of excess, boys.
Chickens here as well. So the food cost is going to go down and the electric cost is going to go down. But I hope that helped you guys. Again, I know some people are going to say that's really cheap. Some people might say that's expensive, but let us know what you're spending on these bills. But yeah, living out here in the province, it's very simple, very happy, very healthy, and that's what we're spending.
It's nice because you can plant vegetables and fruit.
Yeah, they got a ton of land, dude, of course. Ryan, thanks, brother. Since my divorce, I started working on my 5-year plan to buy then rent out condos in the Philippines and retire early. It just takes a game plan, guys, and you start working to it step by step. It seems daunting when you try to calculate everything all in one go and how you need to do something that seems like a tremendous amount of effort. Got to move, got to do all this, got to figure out how to make money remote. It's time. Time is your asset. Attack the problem piece by piece until there's nothing left of it. Don't try to take on the entire wall all at once. Brick by brick, and you'll figure it out. You're looking at this guy. Some of you I know are looking at this guy's end point where he is right now. How the hell did he get 80 grand? How the hell did he plan all this? How did he do whatever he's doing to get there? How is his life so different than mine? Whatever, man. Don't worry about it. I'm 22 right now and I have time to do this. Yes, you just got to create dude, it's $80,000 over the span of, say, took this guy 3 years to even get there. There you go. 3 to 5 year. Make a 3 to 5 year plan to save up 80,000 or whatever it is, because you can always get a loan. You can back your money. You can have half of that and get the other half as a loan. So your mortgage is still dirt cheap. You don't need the full 80 up front. He had it, but you can figure out some financing. And all you need to do is start planning little by little. I'm sure you can contact him. You can contact other expats that have moved there, that have built houses. There's probably Facebook groups that you can get into and figure stuff out. There's people that are willing to help you that have already relocated. 80K won't even cover your down payment in Phoenix. No, it won't. If you got a mortgage for an 80K house, that's like freaking nothing a month. Yeah, that's less than your car note. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, he's killing it, dude. Look at this house. Like, where's the other picture? If you guys wanted to watch this, just go to his channel. It's how much does it cost to build a house in the Philippines? We won't watch it on stream, but he details out everything he spent money on. And yeah, funds used to date was 69. He had remaining 10,900. I'm sure he's eaten into that. There you go. So he did home, security wall, well. He has a well, septic, garage, driveway, patio, gym, pool, fish, ponds with an S, both of them. Fenced in chicken area. He's got land, guys.